All right, this morning I want to talk about purpose. And many times we have been told to pray to God, to seek God, to find out our purpose in life and all that. And I started thinking about it, from the Word of God. I don't see the characters, our heroes, in the Bible, striving and seeking and, stressing their lives to find out about God's purpose for their lives. I don't see that. Right from the first man that we are told that was called by God, Abraham, we were told that he just heard God call him and told him to leave his father's house to a land that he was going to, show him. And he obeyed God and he went there and God blessed him and all that. He was never seen anywhere praying to find out what God wanted to do with his life. He was just living as a shepherd. And the voice of God came one day. Okay, look at someone like Joseph. Okay? Joseph wasn't praying to find out God's purpose for his life. Joseph was just going about obeying his father, Jacob, being sent to go give a message to his brothers, and he came back to tell the father how the brothers were misbehaving and all that. We never saw him praying to God to find out God's purpose for his life. One day he slept and God came in a dream and showed him his purpose. Okay? And after God showed him his purpose, never seen him trying to bring about that purpose to pass. Everything just worked out by divine ordering for him to find out his purpose and to fulfill it. Look at Moses himself. He just one day he Bible says he perceived that God through his hand would deliver the children of Israel. He was never praying about it. Okay? In fact, when he even tried to do it, to bring it to pass, he entered into trouble. He had to run away for his life until when it was God's time for him to come. God himself came and called him. He was not even expecting God's call. God called him. A prophet, I think Hosea also, or Amos, said that I was not a prophet, I was just a shepherd, and God called me. So you see, when it comes to God, purpose of issue of God's calling and purpose in life, God delivers it to our hearts. It's like a burden that God gives to you. Your own may be through a dream, God will reveal it to you. Or it may be through an audible voice, God speaks to you. But there is no place in the Bible where we are told you have to find your purpose for life, you have to go and pray, you have to go and fast and all that. You can do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. But sometimes people are so stressed and they pray, fast for days and all that. And they still can't come to it to say this is exactly what God is calling me to do with my life. But what I see is that if you pursue the burden that God has put already in your heart, in one way or the other, you will come to fulfill God's purpose for your life. If God puts a burden like Nehemiah, when God put a burden in his heart for the building of the walls of Jerusalem, he pursued it. At the end of the day, he fulfilled his purpose. Okay? Daniel followed the burden of his heart, praying for the children of Israel. He fulfilled his purpose right there in Babylon. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, all they did was fear God. All they did was obey God. Okay? And they also fulfill their purposes in life. So we should stop stressing ourselves about trying to find out God's purpose for your life. God's purpose for your life may just be you obeying God. Just obey the word of God, what He has given to you. Obey it, fear God. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes, fear God and keep His commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. Just fear God, keep His commandments. Someone like Saul of Tarsus, who was later, whose name was later changed to Paul, was just going about to persecute the children of God, and God struck him down and spoke His purpose to his life, and he pursued it. He was not chasing after it. He was following his own drive, his own desire. So just go about as a believer, serve God, believe in the word of God, and obey God's commandments. Just serve God where you are with what God has provided for you. And God will reveal more and more of Himself and what He wants you to do in life. But don't spend all your time praying and crying that you don't know what God is calling you to do. God's purpose is already in your heart. That's the summary of it all. As you pursue the burden that God has put in your heart, God will bring it to pass. The Bible said, delight thyself also in the Lord, and shall grant thee the desires of thine heart. I believe that God is more interested in fulfilling our purposes than we are. So it shouldn't be something of stress. God Himself is more eager to reveal it. So once we pursue God, follow God step by step, it can come through a dream, it can come through an audible voice, it can come, Two different means. It doesn't come the same way for all people. You will come to be in the will of God and the purpose of God for your life. It's not by stressing yourself. Just go out of business and serve God and live for God, and God will lead you into his purpose. That's what I believe. That's what I think. No more stress. God's purpose is already in your heart. Just follow it and you'll be there. God bless you.